Welcome back to our International Students and Studies. Today we have a wonderful special guest, Elsie Shin, and she used to study at Angelo State University, and I would love to have her on the phone today. And Elsie, can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Elsie, and I'm a friend of Jane. And I'm a really big fan of Ram Radio and Ram TV. And so I always wanted to be here. So it's so proud of myself to be here. Thank you for, inviting me to be here. And yeah, it's been almost 3 years since I landed in the US and for the first time. And I originally came here as an exchange student to ASU in Texas. Um, I major English in Korea, University, Dongguk Women's University, and somewhat English was always like something that I wanted to overcome. So I really wanted to, escape my comfort zone and then, you know, find a new world, like new place, and then not just sitting in the classroom. So that's why I came to the States, and now I graduate the program, exchange student program, and I did 1 year OPT at Korean newspaper company. And after the OPT, I freelancing right now at the same company, and um, I'm going to the community college in journalism major. And yeah, that's almost about me.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for the brief introduction. Basically, Elsie is a person who I have known for many years now, and she's super talented in writing. Whenever it comes to editing videos, she has a sense of talent like to make it so clean and nice. And yeah, I just wanted to interview her because she's a person that I admire so much. And for future international students, I believe that she can give out like good advices and like, maybe like a life motto and everything. So yeah, that's why I brought her. Elsie. So when was the last time you went back to Korea?
Last time, it was last February, I guess, for my graduation ceremony. And then I took my very last semester online, last year. And then I finally got my bachelor's degree in major and my
Yes.
degree. Yeah, my degree, if you know, you know, the mines
Hmm.
is meeting, incentive tour, and what else? Convention and exhibition. And yeah, I could have done that as a double major, but I couldn't make it because I was here. So, I got the minor degree, and then yeah, I was in Korea last year and then like for 2 weeks, and then yeah, like say hello to my old friend and then yeah, I
Oh.
enjoyed.
Oh, I genuinely look up to her so much. Like, she has so much advice to tell y'all, and she's been looking at Ram Radio and supporting us as well. So say hi to Elsie if you guys recognize her. Yeah, do you miss Korea currently? Like, how have you been feeling?
I miss Korea so much, and then
Mhm.
not just about my family and my friend, my hometown, like for every international students, they always get homesick.
Yes,
Like,
they
yeah,
always do.
for me, every like at least 2 times a year. So that homesick season is, just hit me. And then,
Is
yeah,
coming back.
I know. So, but I think that one is really natural, like process we have to go through.
Yes.
And then, yeah, for the international student, we always, we can't get a lot of money by ourselves. So, and then we have to pay our tuition. So we can't go to Korea like so often. So that's the problem. So, yeah, I really, really miss Korea. And I think I can revisit and reunite with my friends probably next winter time, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear
It's really
that,
a natural.
but Yeah,
Yeah, it is what it
it's
is.
pretty hard to go back, and it's really hard when you're feeling this homesickness. Yes, I totally agree. I know there's a lot of international students who want to pursue communications just like you and become a journalist or, have a career related to like editing, all sorts of those communications related jobs. Do you have any classes that you enjoyed while you stayed at ASU? Do you remember anything?
In ASU, yeah, ASU was, like big change to me. And then
Hmm.
most biggest part was RAM TV. So yeah, that
Oh.
one is a stepping stone for me to get into the journalism area. So yeah, basically I chose what was it? The management major at the first time I, enrolled to the ASU. But yeah, it turned out, oh, management is not my thing. And then yeah. And then I really, yeah, the answer is simple. I do enjoy writing, and then I always wanted to write something about me and my friends, like situation as an international student. So yeah, we know how hard is it to survive as an international student and foreigner in foreign country. So yeah, so I just knock the door, the REM TV door, and then say hello to Donald. And then, hey, I wanted to, apply for this job. And then, I did not know that we can apply for the on campus job as a student. Like even as an international student at that time, but Donald say, "Okay, you can have a job interview right now, right here." So
Wow.
I had a 30 minutes job interview at that time, and then he really liked my passion. I couldn't I had no idea how to, handle the Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro at the time, but I said, I can do this. I can do everything me you want from me. So, and then he said, yeah, of course, you can start your career starting from this. So, yeah, that one became my first career step, and then it helped me a lot to build my career, like initial career, before graduate the exchange student program or even have my bachelor's degree. And then thanks for that, I could apply to the newspaper job after, the exchange student program. And the REM TV was so great, as you know. So there were a lot of friendly staffs, and then yeah, the manager was great, and then the faculty was great, and then yeah, I did a lot of things. The most enjoyable moment was when I shoot the Ram Walk series.
Yes.
You know that, right?
Yes.
Ram Walk. So I really enjoyed just randomly approaching to the random student, and then, hey, I'm shooting this video. Would you be my interviewee? And then
Yes.
they yeah, they would be like, yeah, of course. And then, they became my interviewee. I love that. So if you have any like thoughts on the RAM TV or RAM radio, Jane is a, like top person of the RAM radio. So you can reach out to her. Or for RAM TV, I did that, but I did that like 3 years ago. So if you reach out to me, I can definitely give you some ideas. But Jane will be the one who can give you some ideas.
Oh, Elsie's
I really
so sweet.
like you.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much. She has set the she has set like the bare minimum up to here where she has done the work so well, filming and editing and posting on time. And she's a person who's very much organized as well. And plus, I totally agree with Elsie by the fact that starting on-campus job, media jobs such as RAM TV or RAM radio or Rampage, those would be a good start for your career if you're pursuing some sort of communications or multimedia positions. Um, as a Since you have worked in like the media industry, what would be the hardest thing for your job? Would it be like the deadline or would it be something interacting with people? Were there any some hardships that are you have tried to overcome recently?
Yeah, very interesting question. So, um, yeah, most thing you told me are um would be the answer. And then I would say the deadline. It was hard for me at the first time, but I got used to it now, so it's okay. But interacting with random people was really hard for me. But
Hmm.
how can I say? So there was two parts. So first one is I had to interact with the small business in this Korean American community, but before that, I need to understand what is the Korean American community is, what the Korean American
Uh-huh.
community is, because I'm a Korean, I would say. What's the Korean means that I was born and raised in Korea, and I have no idea how's the life in the US as a Korean American, like citizen. I'm
Hmm.
not a citizen, right? So I had no idea about their life. So I had to understand their life first and then approach them and like I think good understand makes a good question. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I had to study how their business is. So let's say, yeah, so I had a interview with the lawyer, and then yeah, he was the second generation Korean American, and then he said every Korean seniors they are first generation Korean American. I would say they're Korean. And then, yeah, whenever they come to the law firm and then starting to chat with him, hey, I wanted to, start my case and then would you help me out on this? But they didn't understand what he says in English. And then the
Right.
language barrier, the great like a big part for them. So yeah, he told me that the Korean American and then Korean community is different. So I had to understand that first. And then yeah, that one was the biggest part. So I would say if you wanna interview something, you have to prepare at least 1 to 2 times, like
Hmm.
1 to 2 hours. So the more you prepare, the more you can, prepare for that, I would say.
That's amazing advice. Honestly, I was gonna ask you like one or two piece of advice for the future international students who want to study communications, but you set out a wonderful advice right there saying that, always be prepared and study the interviewee in order to have a good interview because learning their background is also important in order to continue the interview. And I think that's a really great advice because I think a lot of people kind of overview their cultural background when it comes to interviews. But the fact that you pointed out about their multicultural background, I think that's like really beautiful and amazing as a person who interviews other people as a living.
Right. And yeah, let's say if I want to interview you, I need to, like research all the information about you, like what kind of food you like, and then like how many years you work at the REM radio or something like that. That would make the interview more fascinating, I think.
One last question for you. The way you approach the person's background, how do you do that? How do you do that so effortlessly? Like it's amazing how dig out their information and like you're prepared on spot. And that really, I think it's a talent, but at the same time, it seems like a lot of effort. How do you approach that? Is it like, do you search their LinkedIn or do you like search their articles? What kind of methods do you use?
So it depends on the interviewee. So, mm for example, the small business owner I said before, they don't have any like article about their stories because it's a really small business in local area. So I usually go to their business first and then,
Uh-huh.
see the bios and then, if necessary, I start chat with them and then do the short interview before the real interview. Um, or I have a lot of experience about the political interviews, like Senator or like Andy Kim. He became the first Korean American senator in New Jersey, and then I had an interview with him last year, and then
Wow.
yeah, that one was amazing. And then luckily Pennsylvania was a swing state, and then it was really important period for like that time, the election time. So I met a lot of like Democrat people, like Kamala Harris, their campaign, and then before meeting them, I really had to like analyze their like workload. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I did research on their articles, and then also um, whenever you go to their website, they're gonna have a press release. So
Right.
the press release is um, basically is given to the media, like real press on their press release. But you can access to their website and then click the media or the press release tab. You can just you know looked up everything like without any permission, I think. So that one really helped a lot. And what else? And there's always a media person in the campaign or like senator team. They always have a communication team. And then they have like a intern, like like entry level people. So you need to reach out to them to build like a stepstone to reach out to them. So that would
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
That's a wonderful tip because if you're a first-time journalist, you would have hard time who to reach out to. And the
Right.
correct way to reach out would be really hard to find because when I used to work at the news station, I didn't know who to reach out if I were to reach out to someone who's in a higher position. I might have just emailed him and said him or her and say like, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? But
Yeah.
reaching out step by step, those would be actually a really good way to approach things. And those would be like the actual realistic tips who has actually done those work before. And I think that's really
Right.
amazing that you're an international you came here as an international student and has such a multi background, very interesting background, and the amount of effort that you put into your work. I have so much respect in you. Before we end, do you have any one piece of advice that you can give out to any international students who are struggling with finding a job or struggling with handling rejections or, just overall struggles in another country?
Okay. There's a lot because I'm not
Yes.
a like I always think and always, say to Jane that I'm not on the level of the advice because I'm going through my things. So, but if I can give someone a little piece of advice, that would be start your career with the small thing like a RAM TV or RAM radio, the one you can do first in your area. So we're not gonna like achieve some like a big thing. So you can start with the little thing, and then if you have any like problem, you can reach out to anyone, around your area. So that can make you know, they that can help you a lot to build your career. And then the last thing is these are my like concern these days too, but I always think that living in the States is really expensive and no one gonna tells you that, oh, you have to do this. Like if you don't do this, you're gonna have this problem. So you need to figure out. And
It's kind
you
of
have
your
to,
responsibility to handle everything.
right, right. That's right. Like for example, like car like leasing or like signing the apartment or everything. Like you need to figure out everything, but don't panic. There will be a lot of people who are willing to help you. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to someone.
If there's a will, there will be a way. Yeah, that's I think what she's talking about. If you try to
Right.
find if you try to find something and try to solve something, reach out to anybody and somehow the method will show up to you. That's how Elsie and I kind of survived like this. And we don't really hesitate to build our future. And when it comes to struggles, we always discuss together and ask each other. We don't feel ashamed about asking. We try to be as much as empathetic towards our problems. And I wish this podcast can help someone who is an international student who is struggling with all kinds of life stuff. And I hope you guys had a wonderful time with Elsie. And thank you so much for your time. And I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you, Jane. Bye bye.
Bye.